It was about 10 minutes before closing, and the client walked in the door with 3 liquid damaged MacBook Pros. I printed up an authorization allowing me to take custody of the machine, and I had him sign that document, reviewed the document with him, and then he left. And then I took the machine into the back and I started working on it.
That is the repairman of the Delaware computer repair shop that received Hunter Biden's laptop, telling me about the night that Hunter brought in his infamous laptop. You can watch the entire 40-minute conversation on the Fox News YouTube channel or the Will Cain podcast. But now, Hunter's team is trying to cast doubt about how the potentially incriminating contents actually came to light. They're saying that story you just heard isn't true. New York Post columnist and Fox News contributor Miranda Devine wrote Laptop from Hell, and she joins us now. Miranda, good morning to you. You know, this is a first-hand account. John Paul MacIsaac has property, by the way, still maintains the data, and is telling you how he came to possess Hunter's information. How can they possibly convince us it's not true?
Good morning, Will. Look, I mean, I think they don't really need to convince you or me. What they're trying to do is to convince people who really haven't been told much about this story. That would be the readers of the New York Times and the Washington Post, who really were kept in the dark for 18 months until out of the blue, those publications decided to say that, yes, they'd authenticated the emails from the laptop was real, etc. So I think this is all because the investigation, the grand jury investigation in Delaware into Hunter Biden's taxes and overseas business dealings is drawing to a close. That's been going on for some time. And so now I think that Hunter and his friends, this entertainment lawyer from Los Angeles who's very wealthy, Kevin Morris, is Hunter's friends call him Hunter's new sugar brother. They're wanting to get out ahead of the story before the outcome of that grand jury probe comes out. They want to try and just rejig the story, spin it. And clearly they're not looking at the content of the laptop. There's not much they can do about that. But I think they feel if they can muddy up the origin story, that will discredit the entire evidence that's come out about the Biden family's influence peddling scheme.
John Paul MacIsaac told me, Miranda, by the way, that Hunter Biden's lawyer did contact him, asking for the return of this laptop. Good luck, by the way. He's pretty convincing because he's telling a story that he actually experienced. I want to ask you about this, though, because the jury is set to resume deliberations today in the trial of Hillary Clinton's lawyer, former presidential candidate. Michael Sussmann is, for lying to the FBI, facing jury deliberations right now. As you've watched this trial unfold, Miranda, what do you anticipate?
Well, look, if he is convicted of lying to the FBI, Michael Sussmann faces a maximum of 5 years in jail. But it's not really just about him. He is just the first of the trials to come out of the Durham probe into the Trump-Russia collusion hoax. And we have gleaned some really valuable insights into that dirty trick scheme by the Clinton campaign. Chiefly, I think, out of this trial, that Hillary Clinton was behind it, that she sanctioned this dirty trick, this attempt to go to the FBI and Michael Sussmann pretended that he was just a concerned citizen, concerned about national security. They passed off bogus opposition research, which claimed that Donald Trump was in bed with Vladimir Putin. Now, the ramifications of that were extreme. It crippled the Trump presidency, and to this day, we're seeing that there are national security implications for America's relationship with Russia and with Vladimir Putin. So, you know, it seems like a small charged with lying to the FBI. Maybe, you know, a small jail term or a slap on the wrist more likely. Right. But it really had enormous ramifications, and there's more to come.
Including having the American public live in a false reality for the better part of 4 years. In addition to listening to that full conversation with John Paul Mac Isaac, Miranda and I, just a few weeks ago, broke down the entire Hunter Biden laptop story. What is actually on the laptop? Miranda lays it out in a big episode on the Will Cain podcast. I also have one up, by the way, breaking down this Durham trial. So go there and you can get full context on all these really big and important stories. Miranda, always great to see you.
You too, Will. Thanks very much.
Subscribe to the Fox News YouTube channel to catch our nightly opens, stories that are changing the world and changing your life. From Tucker Carlson tonight.